Sometimes, heartbreak doesn't come with warning. It comes quietly, in a message, in a moment, in a goodbye you didn't see coming. Amara thought she was strong. She thought she had everything under control, until the one person she trusted chose to walk away. At the same time, somewhere else on campus, Tunde sat in silence, staring at the proof that love can be replaced. Not because he wasn't enough, but because someone else had more to offer. Two strangers, two broken hearts, walking the same path but carrying different pain. And then, fate stepped in. A simple collision, a moment that should have meant nothing, but somehow meant everything. They didn't know each other, but they understood something deeper. Pain recognizes pain. So, they made a choice, a dangerous one. What if we pretend to be in love, pretend to be happy, just long enough to make the ones who hurt us regret it? It sounded simple, just a game, just an act. No emotions, no attachments. But love doesn't follow rules. What started as a performance soon became something harder to control. The laughter felt real, the smiles lasted longer than expected, and the silence between them began to speak louder than words. But the past doesn't stay buried. Jealous eyes started watching, old feelings began to return, and the people they were trying to forget suddenly wanted them back. Now the question is, when everything is fake, how do you know when it becomes real? Because sometimes the most dangerous thing about pretending to love someone is realizing you actually do. At first, it was just an act, a simple plan. Two people pretending. No feelings, no expectations, no complications. But something changed. The way they laughed, it wasn't forced anymore. The way they looked at each other, it wasn't part of the plan. Somewhere between pretending and trying to prove a point, they forgot where the lie ended and where the truth began. Amara told herself it was nothing, just a game she needed to win. But then, why did it bother her when other girls looked at him? Why did her smile fade when he wasn't around? And Tunde, he noticed it too. The way her voice softened when she said his name, the way she stayed, even when she didn't have to. This wasn't part of the deal, because the heart doesn't ask for permission. And just when things started to feel real, the past came back. Kelvin wasn't done, not even close. Seeing Amara move on, seeing her happy without him, it broke something in his pride. And now, he wanted her back. Not because he loved her, but because he couldn't stand losing her. And Diane, she thought she had made the right choice. Money, comfort, status. But seeing Tunde again, seeing him smile, seeing him loved, made her realize something too late. She didn't lose him, she gave him away. Now suddenly, they both wanted what they left behind. But this time, things were different, because what started as fake was no longer easy to walk away from. Jealousy crept in, doubt followed closely behind, and emotions they could no longer control. So now the question is, what happens when you start catching real feelings in a relationship that was never supposed to be real? Because the deeper they fall, the harder it will be when everything finally falls apart. At some point, pretending stops feeling like a game and starts feeling like something else, something real, something dangerous. Because the more time they spent together, the harder it became to separate truth from lies. Amara didn't plan to care. She didn't plan to feel anything. But now, every smile from Tunde meant something. Every moment without him felt different. And that scared her, because this was never supposed to be real. And Tunde, he tried to stay in control. He told himself it was just an agreement, just a temporary arrangement. But the way his heart reacted every time Amara was close said otherwise. Then came the moment that changed everything. A simple misunderstanding, the kind that shouldn't matter, but somehow meant everything. Amara saw it. Tunde, standing too close, laughing with Diane, not the fake kind of laughter, the real one. And in that moment, something broke. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly inside her. Because jealousy doesn't need permission, and pain doesn't wait for explanation. She didn't ask questions, she didn't wait to understand. She walked away. But the silence she left behind spoke louder than any argument. Tunde didn't understand. One moment, everything felt right. The next, she was distant, cold, gone even while standing right in front of him. And for the first time, the act started falling apart because feelings were no longer one-sided. Words were left unsaid, assumptions took over, and pride became louder than honesty. But the past wasn't done yet. Kelvin saw his chance, a crack in the connection, a moment of weakness, and he stepped in, not to fix things, but to break them completely. Now, Amara is confused, torn between what she feels and what she thinks she saw. Tunde is frustrated, trying to hold on to something he doesn't even understand anymore. And the truth is slowly getting buried under silence, because sometimes it's not betrayal that destroys love, it's misunderstanding. And if they don't speak, if they don't fight for it, what started as something fake might end before it ever becomes real. There's a moment in every story where silence becomes louder than words, and love starts slipping through your fingers. Amara tried to ignore it, tried to pretend she didn't care, tried to act like nothing had changed, but everything had. Because once feelings become real, you can't go back to pretending. And Tunde, he was done guessing, done chasing shadows, done trying to understand what she refused to say. So this time, he stopped her. Not gently, not carefully, but honestly. What is going on with you? The question she had been avoiding finally stood right in front of her. And for a moment, she froze. Because the truth was there, right on her lips. But so was her pride. So instead of saying what she felt, she said what was easy. It was never real, Tunde. And just like that, everything changed. Because words, even when they're not true, still hurt like they are. Tunde didn't argue, didn't beg, didn't fight. Because sometimes the strongest reaction to pain is silence. He looked at her, not with anger, but with something worse, disappointment. Then we should stop pretending. Simple, cold, final. And just like that, the thing they built together collapsed. No shouting, no tears, just two people standing in front of each other, losing something they never even admitted they had. But pain doesn't end where words stop, because later that night, when everything was quiet, the truth finally caught up. Amara sat alone, replaying every moment, every smile, every laugh, every time she felt something she refused to name. And for the first time, she stopped lying to herself. She loved him. Not fake, not part of a plan, real. And now, it was too late, because somewhere else, Tunde was walking away, carrying a heart that finally opened, just to be shut down again. No explanation, no closure, just silence. But love like this doesn't end easily, because even when words break it, the feelings remain. So now the question is, will pride keep them apart, or will the truth finally set them free? Because sometimes, all it takes to save love is one person brave enough to say, "I didn't mean it." Sometimes, love doesn't end because it's not real. It ends because no one was brave enough to say the truth. Days passed, but for Amara, It felt like everything had stopped. The laughter was gone, the messages were gone, and the silence was louder than ever. But this time, she couldn't run from it, because the truth she tried to hide was now all she could feel. She loved him, not as a plan, not as a game, but for real. And somewhere else, Tunde tried to move on. He told himself it was over, that it didn't matter. But some feelings, they don't listen to logic, because no matter how far he walked, he still carried her with him. So this time, someone had to be brave, and it was her. No pride, no pretending, just truth. She found him, standing alone like the first day they met. But this time, she didn't hesitate. I lied. 3 simple words, but they carried everything she was afraid to say. Tunde didn't respond. Not yet, because pain doesn't disappear that easily. I said it wasn't real, but it was. Her voice trembled, but I was scared. Silence. Heavy. Unforgiving. Until finally, he looked at her. Not with anger, but with everything he tried to bury. Why now? And that question broke her completely, because losing you felt worse than telling the truth. And for a moment, everything stood still. No past, no pride, just 2 hearts finally being honest. Because sometimes, love doesn't need perfection, it just needs truth. And this time, they chose it. Not fake, not forced, but real.